that's a big answer from them. You pick up that awakening guy, and that guy is the answer that you guys were looking for. You needed the slaying last year. You pick him up this year, and you saw what he was able to do yesterday. A 1.3 in the series, even clutching up in search and destroy. Awakening is a man on a mission for this Boston roster. And on the opposite side for Seattle, it was just basically chokes. They dominated in their hard points, but if you think about that control, they had it in their grasp and they let it go. But let's get into this map number 1.
Yeah, and this is the very same hard point that we were able to see Seattle on yesterday. So eager to see what they can do just less than 24 hours later. As we said, Sim was the guy yesterday. Who knows? Maybe it could be the rookie of the year to try to add a little bit of spice into what appears to be a nice little mixture. Going down for Surge to Hotel we go. P1 already nicely contested. It is a straight 30 seconds, however, for Breach.
Yeah, Boston, they started off on the better side right there. If you're not spawning towards P2, towards his back flat, you're not going to really get a lot of time off that P1. Your main job is to simply not give Boston at least 40 seconds off of P1. So Boston do a great job early on off the rotation. It's going to be Seattle. One player does end up dropping across the map, but they're controlling the spawns. They're winning the gunfights. They're going to be fully set up for this P2 push.
Yeah, and that's the positive, I guess. The bit of evenness that you have on a map like Hotel. You have one side that has preferred spawns for P1. On the other side, you do have preferred spawns for P2. So Seattle finally starting to see a bit of that success. And here we go. Pred starting to take over. Nearly found his 6th kill in a row. Could have been some streaks, however. Really going to be Seattle Surge hunkering down, being prepared. Boston Breach, a lot of different entries in this hill, Jay.
Yeah, so far Seattle, they've done a great job of just holding it down, getting their kills. Pred with another 2-piece. Last player up is going to be Vivid contested. Take care of him. Another clean 4 dead. And with about 30 seconds left on this hill, you're already forcing Boston to hit that early rotation. The knife comes out from Mac. Wasn't really looking forward to getting that team kill on the accuracy, but it's okay. You're going to be able to take this lead with this remaining time. Unless you lose that gunfight, Vivid actually challenges the hold. And now Boston Breach have that rotation to kitchen. Seattle have to figure out how they want to decide to break this kitchen hill.
It's just an accidental knife. I don't know exactly what was maybe said in the comms. Accuracy, maybe critiquing a bit of the gameplay for Mac, and McKenzie not happy with it. Regardless, Seattle Surge did a few through the back lines. Mac, well, at least he's still alive. We'll see if he can contribute a little bit toward this play. A bit of information, but so far that is it. Seattle Surge tell you to come out with your hands up. Boston holding corners, trying to hunker down themselves. Awakening able to at least find one through the corridor. Surge with more preferred positioning, but Boston Breach still here.
Yeah, Boston Breach doing a great job of just keeping the kills stagnant. I thought it was going to be easy, beautiful break coming in from Seattle, but Awakening, your main slayer, already 12-6 to start off the map. Number 1 is taking over in this kitchen hill to give Boston a nice, comfortable lead. Great shots from Vivid to find that 2-piece, but now it's all about this rotation. You see Seattle once again playing from the back foot, knowing that they had to rotate early, continuously giving this junk time to Boston Breach as this lead continues to grow. They did stop the bleeding right now with a great hold.
And it feels like from a confidence standpoint as well, really, if you are Seattle, this is a hill that you need to try to get at your back, try to even up the score a little bit. Nero going to do his best to try and disrupt things. M4 in hand, and he can beam with it, putting it on display.
Oh!
Now also has some words with the Vaznev. Some great work coming in from him. However, the same cannot be said for the teammates. First wave cleared for Seattle as they'll make the 60 mark.
Yeah, it's all on Mac right there. He finds a 3-piece from that top middle head glitch on Des to allow his teammates to eventually get back into the play. So now final 30 seconds, probably one more push coming in from Seattle. I mean, from Boston until they decide to hit that early rotation. That's going to be 3 dead. Last player up is Sim. Make it all 4. And we got rotations. Right now, Seattle, they're playing from the back foot. When yesterday, in both of their hard points, they were always the first on rotation.
And that is what's so scary, Jay, about this Boston Breach team. I mean, I think all of us kind of agreed in the little roundtable discussion that we had. We talked so highly about Boston Breach. It feels like they made the exact roster change that they needed, bringing in somebody like Big Wake to a team that really just needed an upgrade when it comes down to slaying. You already see what this team can do. Seattle Surge, such dominant hardpoints yesterday. Definitely seeing their very first real test here on Hotel.
So far, this has been a great hold, though, on this Hotel hardpoint. Towards the diner area. They know exactly where all of Boston are trying to attack this from kitchen. You're holding out both of those doorways. It's not going to be easy to sprint on out. But Mac is doing a great job staying aggressive in towards Freezer. Unfortunately, he is going to drop. But with the final 30 seconds, Boston just want to make sure that they're maintaining this back control because we're going over to P6, which is all the way towards top plat. So even with Seattle getting all this time, they will be able to eventually take this lead. But Boston Breach, they're definitely thinking big picture. Unless Nero has something to say about it, he gets taken down. Now everyone's off the rotation.
Yep, great little answer coming in from Seattle. That's just the way the hard points work. When we talk about MW2, you're down a major amount, you rotate, you set up, and now just like that, you're back in the game. However, the same thing could be said now for Boston Breach. Ready for P6, as you called it. I know we're familiar with just 5 hard points, if not 4. In this game, sometimes we've got 6, if not 7. If we're going to be seeing ourselves on Mercado Las Almas.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
You like
I like
that?
the way you
That's
said
pretty good,
that.
huh?
Yeah.
I'm working on it, Jay. You know,
sounds
as good as you.
Man, Mercado Las Almas. But then we're not even on that, man. That's a 2-piece coming in from Seattle. Trying to execute that break towards the back, and they do it beautifully. Woo. Now all of Boston Breach running out towards the middle of the map. Seattle are just soaking up as much time as possible. You see Boston, they just have to commit towards winning these gunfights, trying to get some good time off of this, knowing that they're going towards this P1. Trades going back and forth, but this Boston still coming out on top.
Oh, it looks like a shooting gallery right now for either side. Everybody hitting the beams, but right now it is Seattle Surge with the current time. Method's gonna have to jump inside of the hill here, and shots coming from every single direction. It's 2 for one side, it's 2 from the other. The final 10 seconds of the first set of rotations will be awarded to Boston in what has been a very hard-fought hard point up to this point.
It's basically a tie game. At the end of the first rotation, the hard points awakening does find 2 to the middle of the map, though. This is where Boston Breach found a lot of success, getting 40 uncontested seconds off P1. They do have the preferred side, but right now, Seattle, they're just doing a great job of maintaining that bedroom side, maintaining couches, and not allowing Boston to get any time off of this P1. But you got to be careful, though, because you don't want to die and then eventually flip these spawns out, gift them basically to Boston for that P2.
Yeah, at least for the moment, Boston Breach with some interesting spawns. Seattle Surge going to be aware of that top side of the map. You want to try to limit them. There it is. Boston, in just a moment's notice, are now going to have those favorable positions. A few pushed up players toward the restaurant now has turned things a bit on their head. Accuracy aware of such. Wants to try to bring things back to a more favorable spot. Final few seconds of P1 gonna go to Seattle, but Accuracy making the long route, tosses out the stun, but again, it is Big Wake causing problems in the back lines as 3 fall for Surge. Advantage still with Seattle, but Breach on the cusp of taking the lead back themselves.
Yeah, currently a 20-point game. Boston are not worried at all because you know how strong, how much of a money hill this P2 can be. As long as everyone is holding down their lanes, you cannot afford to lose the first gunfight. Nero finds 2, is going to shut down that push, make it 3 dead, all 4. The combination of Nero and Vivid take care of Seattle Surge. They're going to be able to take the lead right on back, and now this is going to force Seattle Surge to give it one more good push because P2 and P3 are both money hills.
It's just great awareness of the spawns as well for Boston. They instantly find 4 down. A few players from Surge starting to reposition. But here is Nero again. The SMGs previously known of Boston apparently can rock it out with the M4 from time to time. Back and forth we go again. Vivid, well, he pops dead silence, instantly gets challenged. Great work to try and stay alive, but the one hill, Jay, that could really turn the tide is this one that we have coming up. Vivid does fall off of the spree. This next one is so crucial. The rotation now coming in toward the kitchen. And we'll step aside and go to a listing in this very big moment with Seattle.
One's bread at me, 2 bread. Stay alive, breathe in time, bro. One's close mini and bread side time.
Much in mid. Middle dead.
Nice, 2 on time. Hit it.
I got one. I need the
Dead. Nice, I'm about to stand on you. I'm hitting bread out. Yeah, I'm on you. I'm in bread.
I have one mid. One's con.
One's in bread.
Alright, I'm looking at your bread, Amir. 2 con on me, 2 con.
In cat. He's going top cat now.
He's gonna jump out on me.
We're on you. Yeah, I'm back on
side door dead.
Nice.
He's bread. One shot.
I'm coming up you.
Side door dead. And one bread. Okay, we get him.
I'm looking for you right now. Bread absolute.
Okay. Where'd he go? I'm coming up.
What's your left back? I got him. I'm absolute. I'm going to put him mid.
Big door on you, old. Okay, Reese, he's running up mid, couches area. 2 mid, 2 P1, they could hit TV.
Side door dead. I'm trying to look at TVs and shit.
2 P1.
Square going big.
I'll get him. Nice. I'm pushing on mid, I'm
going top time.
Okay. It's fine.
Big door dead.
I think one's long.
I have mid.
I'm in the corner. Long came out, he's absolute.
I'm in the corner pinching art, okay?
I'm getting art down, I'm getting art.
2 mid, he could pinch deep, I don't know who it is.
I'm looking long. Long dead.
Last guy Nero.
I'm looking bar.
We went up this guy. That's in.
I think Long says I'm holding all the bar.
I kill him long, AG.
I have a trophy on you. I have long.
Okay. I have all the bar. I have top bed.
I'm top bed right now.
They're gonna have to go to the back, bro.
Yeah, in the back.
Much of And the comms right there from Seattle Surge are hot and ready to go. You seen the hole that they were able to put on at that kitchen hard point. I thought it was going to get scary. Accuracy was the only player in that point, but he stays alive just enough for his teammates to get back into the play and they get some good time off of that P3 hard point. Now, you see the lead switch already. Boston Breach, 15 seconds away from potentially closing it out. Nero's the only guy here off the rotation.
Oh, Nero's here. Nero's here. That's going to be 2. The nade comes in from Max. So Seattle with current control. Both teams absolutely can win this hard point here at Diner, but Awakening is able to find the lane. 5 more seconds, putting the pressure now on for Seattle, and the time is going to tick away. Boston Breach win a very hard-fought battle. Never actually has beaten the Boston Breach.
Okay.
0-3 last year in Vanguard. And also, by the way, in terms of hardpoint record, I think it's Boston Breach who is now 6-1 versus the Seattle franchise in overall hardpoint in CDL history. So just a little stat nugget to hold on to as we jump into map number 2, heading to Fortress. Surge with a desperate need of an answer as they'll kick things off here on the attacking side. It's no surprise, quite a few arrows toward that A side.
Yeah, we're just gonna take our time, but Freddy finds the timing. Cracks the door through bottom arc, finds that first blood onto Methods, but the trade comes in from Vivid to take down Mac. 3v3, Bomb's still gonna be down towards back A steps. So now they give up that cross. They only have Vivid, just basically the only guy looking over this A bomb, but he's playing it so safe. Not just trying to hold every single angle down. Seattle eventually have to work towards a bomb plan because you know you're not getting towards B.
Oh, and a great shot again coming in from Vivid. Fred with the instant chow. He's been the only guy so far to find some kills. And right now he's working off a bit of information. Bomb is going to be claimed there from Accuracy. 30 seconds still to work with. And every single inch of really map control that Pred gains, he is giving it over to Accuracy. Here comes the engagement. Now make it 3. Accuracy on the plant, all up to Big Wake.
Big Wake on OB2. He gets the first blood, but can't find the second onto Pred. I don't know if Pred uses his dead silence to close out this round, but Awakening almost made another 1v2 happen. When you're usually in a 1v1 close range, yeah, all 4. Give him the ace. He starts off that initial round, finding that first blood onto Methods. Rat back gets the trade onto the second player, and the third player in Narrow, just sprinting at him, trying to get the timing in towards bottom arc. Eventually turns into a 2v1, and then it's just in the right moment, at the right place to clutch up that round for Seattle. Now up 1-0.
We said somebody needed to bring another dish to the table, and Pred absolutely did that.
Might have been mac and cheese. Maybe
some ham, some mac and cheese, some stuffing. Who knows?
Some good stuff.
Tell you what, he's brought down quite low. Definitely wants to stay alive in this situation. So lethal in the early time, or rather the timings of this game is what made him so lethal last year in Vanguard. So many players talking about Pred just knows the timing. He just knows the way that this game works. Puts that to good use. Nobody is yet to expire off the map, and it's a quick plant for Boston.
That's a free bomb plant, and then you get a 2-piece on 2 players trying to commit towards the flank. You don't want to run into Awakening. Give him all 3. He said, Pred, you got it in the first round. I'm going to get it in this second one. Looking for his very own ace. 30 seconds left. Pred in the 1v4. Not going to potentially fight anyone in this round because he probably wants to play for that streak. If he can potentially pick it up, he knows that this round is basically chalked. But Awakening shuts down that push from all 3 players trying to commit towards that late flank. You get the free bomb planet A. Accuracy was the guy that calls out the cross, but still, don't do anything to shut them down. Boston Breach with a flawless attacking round.
And Pred just enjoying the lovely artwork that happens to exist here on Fortress.
Is that a pony?
Looks like somebody's actually being impaled by a spear. So
okay, not a pony.
Not the loveliest of artwork there by any means. But a smart play overall by Pred. We talked about how he wants to try to hold on to that spree, but we got to take a look, by the way, at the nice little round that Big Wake just happened to put on display for us. A lovely little 3K coming in from Big Wake, and as we said, just not able to find Pred. Only reason is because, well, he just stayed alive. Nobody gets to get a kill from Seattle except for Pred. Just keeping that in mind.
Totally fine. The guy gets it ace in the first round. It's 1-1. No need to panic yesterday. Sib dropped 16 and they still lost the map, so let's make sure.
Okay.
We relax a little bit. Let's work towards this A bomb. You do have Vivid who's going to give up his position. The nade does come in, but Mac now his position is going to be known. You do have a trophy to work with. Great shots to take down that first blood onto Methods.
And we have seen a few players actually get taken down through the gallows. Vivid decides to go and use that trigger discipline. Just toss the 8th stun so far of the round onto back as he will dolphin dive and then some. Those elbows are going to be bruised. Sib at least is able to find a kill. So Pred very excited that someone else has decided to join him in the kill column. Mac again. Elbows rough as ever. Vivid, nice little sneak toward the side, and that's going to be 2 awarded for aggression. However, Seattle are able to lock it down. And who knows, Jay? But yeah, you got a little bit of teammate support. Everybody's getting kills. You're going to walk away with rounds.
Yeah, that one looked a little scary, though, because I'm pretty sure Vivid just crouch walk his way all the way up the stage. It was not seen. Finds a 2-piece before he eventually gets dropped. Seattle just had more numbers in that situation. You get that first blood onto Metis, the guy that's watching the cross towards A-bomb. You know, you back down Vivid with that Semtex to eventually work that bomb plant. But they did have the numbers advantage. They found a couple kills around the map as well. And now Seattle Surge find themselves up 2-0. Pred on a 5 spree. Potentially earn himself that airstrike.
See if he can snag it. Maybe Mac trying to play a little bit of bait. Tag up somebody. With Demon Joe. Just behind the cell, really. Ready to break on out. Nade's tossed over. And be careful. Also started Nade himself. And really, if Seattle could absolutely play for this, they've got Pred in a great little angle. They're just going to use Tactical's utility to take him out. First blood granted from Seattle. Great work.
Big first kill, but Metis does find that trade. They have every single angle covered. Vivis also has the sniper. He's able to at least communicate with his teammates where 2 players are. He actually knows where all 3 of them are because Accuracy throws that nade, but Accuracy finds the kill. Now to 3v2. Method's going to have a huge one. He takes down the first, but the trade is not there. 1v2 for Nero.
It's just to play the time. 12 seconds left, and they instantly hop on the defuse. Is he going to jump in here in time? Is he going to have timing to work with? He does indeed. It's picture perfect from Nero, and he'll grab them both. A great reply there out of Boston. As really Seattle, they were doing such great work trying to cut down Big Wake, but I don't know, man. It feels like he's like the final boss in the back of the map. They were so focused on him, they didn't realize the bomb was going down.
Yeah, that's the second round now on defense for Seattle Surge, where they're giving up this A-bomb plant for free, and they're trying to work that late flank. They do find the opening kill into Awakening, but then Method's find the trade. So now 3v3. You have to check every single corner when you're pushing through Art, when you're trying to go through back alley, so you can try to pick up these kills. But when you waste that much time, that's what allows Nero to eventually hit that route, peeks the door wide open, and finds the kill just in the right time to secure the round for Boston Breach. 2-2.
Big Wick, indeed a sight to behold, and Seattle just could not keep their eye off of him in that last round, and that will be their demise. 2-2, we have it, and now Methods starting to use the crack, the bottom of the door. Pred did fall off of that spree, but does have one to work with in terms of streaks. That's now going to be 7-1 for last year's Rookie of the Year, and could he find the timing again to open these doors?
Big nade comes in from Methods to take down that bomb carrier and Mac. Do they read this play? And Pred, does he go for it again? Try to get that kill with the Methods. He's going to strike, but this time Nero has his brothers back. Takes down Pred, makes it a 3-2, 40 seconds left. Sib has the bomb. He has to eventually work this plant. Look what Accuracy's doing. He's trying to take ground. Awakening is going to get spotted, but he gets out with his life.
And now Accuracy left between a rock and a hard place. Gonna know a few players are over here, but he does get dealt with. Some great work coming in from Nero. Sib at least able to poke away at one. Tagged up and ready for anybody to try and challenge. Stun comes through, doesn't take him down. In terms of HP, goes for the challenge, and it's Nero for the final 3 kills of this round. And that's just great work, Jay. I mean, that is perfect strategy coming in from Boston, because in that moment, right when Pred tries to jump through the doors of bottom Art, he knows right as soon as Vivid shoots, that could be a great opportunity for him to peek on through. Just really great awareness, really, from this guy right here.
Yeah, Boston Breach just said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But I'm not going to allow you to fool me twice. Nero was the guy that finds a 3-piece on the round to secure the defensive round for Boston Breach. Great plays from him. It's now going to put him at 5-2 on a 5 spree. Hopefully Seattle have an answer for this A push, because they're giving it up every single time. I know Accuracy is watching that cross, but they simply cannot slow down this bomb plant.
And Nero just runs right through on a 5 spree. Very valuable life. And Vivid first blood, and that is a wide open setup. Seattle dealt with and handled. However, streak comes on through. Nothing granted, man. Advantage still for Boston.
3v2. Now you can eventually work the spawn plant towards A. You want to make sure no one is going to be playing this close arch. It's now 45 seconds for the retake to come in from Mac and Pred. How do they decide to attack this? It's looking like Mac is going to work his way on the flank. He's trying to take his time. Vivid going to be the guy with the sniper in hand, watching over that site. The time is starting to tick. We have to get some information soon.
And Big Wake peels Mac off the stairs. Will the same thing be said for Pred? Absolutely. Excellent work from Big Wake in the back, as it was just a very awkward setup to start off this round, Jay. Seattle Surge, final two players also left in somewhat of a predicament, but Awakening just continuing to put on some highlight plays.
I think right there, Seattle, they were playing around the streak. So Accuracy, the guy that calling out the cross, once he spots one, that's when you see Pred call in his airstrike. But unfortunately, he doesn't pick up any kills, and two of his teammates drop at the same time. That was great plays from Vivid to be aggressive through that left side arch. Find that kill. It was actually narrow, my apologies. But now that puts Boston up 4-2. Seattle just simply haven't had an answer on their defensive rounds.
Somebody give Awakening a cowboy hat. He is going for a ride. He knows exactly the timing.
There's no way
Pred's going to come.
There's no way he does it again. There's no way he does it again.
Oh, he opens it and Sib tries to go for the challenge. Take a look at the little strategies. Now we're seeing from both of these teams. I would say the rookies, but now it's the sophomores trying to play around with Boston Breach. The nade comes through from the top. That's great work. They're from Mac. Vivid is now out of the play, and things begin to slow down.
Yeah, Vivid was playing that round a little bit too aggressive. Usually plays towards that arch side, but gives up the first blood this time around. So now in the 4v3, Pred's just trying to time it again. He's trying to time it with Sib at the top window, but this time Sib is going to get picked by Awakening. So now 30 seconds and counting. We have to work towards this bomb plant. Everyone on the side of Boston Breach knows that this bomb is going down towards A. How can they slow him down?
You can just see like the strategy's just not working. 20 seconds left. Seattle, maybe a bit of panic starts to set in. Here comes the cruise, the trophy. Nero at the same time. Awakening is going to be there. The trophy tries to save the day, and I think it did.
Wow.
Meanwhile, was able to find two. Nero now brings it to a 1v1, 30 seconds to go. It's time to tango.
And Mac doesn't have dead silence to work with, so if you're Nero, you will be able to hear him, but Nero's going to break through bottom art. Mac with the repositioning secures the round for Seattle. What a play out of Mac. Once it turns into a 3v2, you know you have to get this bomb down. He throws a trophy down, blocks that cruise missile. Once the bomb is down, you see a player on Boston Breach commit towards the gunfight, but Mac was ready for it. He finds two on that site, and it eventually turns into a 1v1, and with the repositioning is able to clutch up the round. Major round for Seattle Surge to keep themselves in this game.
Feels like Mac saves the day. Seattle Surge. This is what the problem they had yesterday, Jay, was that like they were trying to set up Pred to make some plays. If he's not able to, sometimes the round gets a tad stagnant. Pred takes a trophy in the neck. That's not ever going to be fun.
This is different, though.
Ton, by the way.
They're aggressive through A. They're aggressive through A this time around, and Pred finds that first blood. The trade does come in, but now Boston Breach know they have to work 2 times harder to take control of this site.
Great shots from Vivid. By the way, Accuracy hanging out in the corner. Nero's going to be there to read him. Some early shots exchanged. Either which way.
Oh my
Nero's
God.
the trade, and now it is on to Mac. 1v2. Nothing but his wits and his rifle remain as they call upon him to try to make the clutch. And could it be?
Wait a minute.
Very first time we see somebody try to plant it B.
Wait a minute.
It's possible.
Oh, this is a difficult round for Mac to now win, because in the positioning that Awakening is, he has the entire cross. He's able to spot him, and that is a beautiful, beautiful play from Boston Breach. Even after losing all map control on that A bomb, they trade that first one with a nade, and then Nero, no hesitation from side arc, jumps out, finds one, challenges Sid towards the archway, and then commits towards that B bomb. What a beautiful play call coming in from Boston to now put them at game point.
Some great work from this Boston Breach team. We talked about last year how it really was this thing of, you know what, they're great at search destroy. Then they make some roster changes. Now they're great at hardpoint. They were never able to find that combination, and right now it looks like they're starting to. The pieces beginning to come together for Boston Breach. 1 round away from going up 2-0 versus Seattle Surge. As Seattle will begin things here on attack. Bomb in hand as Methods looks to lay down a few early shots. Vivid receiving more than one tack. He is stunned and then some. Here comes the plant.
Oh, here comes the plant, but look at Sim. Works his way on the flank, is only able to pick up one, and Vivid takes down Mac as that bomb gets planted. So now it turns into a 3v2. Your Boston Breach, you can attack this right from the front. The repositioning from Seattle, no one has a line of sight on that site. Accuracy gonna wrap back, finds a big kill on a Vivid, 2v2.
All comes down to Awakening and Nero. However, Pred, hungry to strike, is now able to bring it into a 1v2. Big Wake has got to go big. And can he do it here? Living up to the nade. That's going to be the first. Just has to take the right. Oh my goodness. He puts in some solid shots toward Pred. But the 1v1 will go the way of Seattle as they narrowly stay alive.
Big kill from Pred. Got very, very scary towards those final seconds. Pred is able to secure the round for Seattle. Keep him in this game a little longer. But now they just have to find an answer on defense. 0-4 on the defensive side so far on this Fortress S&D. It looked like in that previous round when they were aggressive through A, they found us a little bit of success. They just couldn't win the trade fights. This time they're going to switch it up. Play it nice and slow. Accuracy not going to play that position from bottom maps to watch across. He's going to play from the close arch this time around.
If Pred decides to go in top green, he very well could be spotted.
We got to get up.
By Awakening. Is that jump? He's going to make it through. Does Awakening get the call out? Really is the question. Or has Pred found himself behind enemy lines? Sneaks through the doorway. Does not expect Awakening to be there. First blood Boston. Mac replies. Now 3v3.
3v3, and the bomb is not going to get down towards that A site. Accuracy still that player holding that cross. So now Boston has to try to work something else, but Vivid does have that sniper in hand. He's trying to play for this pick on Accuracy. He's going to be able to back him down, so the bomb is going to be able to get planted on the side of Boston. But how fast has Seattle decided to play this retake?
We've got two players toward that left doorway from Vivid's perspective. Mac, meanwhile, trying to make the play.
He's making it.
Is he going to find the timing? He hears Methods toward the outside. Bomb is going to be planted. Down for Breach. 40 seconds to work with. It's about finding this initial pick. Can Mac be the one to find it?
No more Daddy.
Or could it even be Accuracy?
No more Daddy. No more Daddy. He gets taken down. Now it's all left up to Sim in the 1v3. Makes it a 1v2. But the plays from Boston Breach on their attacking rounds make it flawless. 5-0 compared to Seattle on defense. 0-5. Boston Breach just made the plays right there. Pred, he jumps into that top window, but Awakening has that line of sight. So if he jumps up there, we can give the call out. Once you pop them doors. No, not that guy.
Is that straight shooter? I don't know. Just trying to
straight shooter.
Just trying to connect the dots a little bit. You know, maybe we'll leave the Twitch chat to decide that one for us. But we're having some fun. We'll see if we can keep this series going. I'll tell you what, I want to see at least more than 3 maps. That's just the way that I'm feeling about this series. A lot of people are hyped to see Boston versus Seattle. I think that the expectations are high for both of these teams coming into the season, but Breach flexing right now to kick this bad boy off as we head into Breach on the defense, Seattle Surge meanwhile on the attack, and Mac just hit one of the longest dolphin dives I've ever seen.
Yeah, he gets right across over towards that B point. But Boston Breach, right off their break off, they were ready for this push. They know that they're probably not going to commit towards A because that's a lot easier of a point to capture. They're just slaying all around this B point, 3 dead in the feed. And now with Nero in this position, they're going to consistently spawn at bedroom unless they spawn behind the mat kitchen. Now this opens up that A push for Seattle.
Quite a few cooks in the kitchen. That is the favorable spot for sure on Hotel is how fast you can spawn. However, Vivid, I actually think this play could work out. Rockstead silence. Nobody from Seattle is going to expect him to be here. At least you'd like to think. Accuracy picked apart from the back, so time will continue to tick away. Some annoying play so far out of Vivid. Tries to buy some time, but really, he was the only guy trying to go for that strategy. The rest of Boston remain over at that B zone for the moment. Seattle Surge just really leave Mac all by himself.
Yep.
Okay, Sib spawns up, so there's 2 there now.
They're not worried though. They know how easy it is to capture this 8 point as long as you're winning your gunfights. But Nero and Vivid combined to take them both off. Now 40 seconds left. Boston Breach have full control of bedroom, but they're all swanning out towards bottom lights. So this play's gonna fall into the Awakening's hands. He's in a position to take him down, but he gets taken care of. So now the time of progression, the clock stops, and now Seattle are able to work towards this B point. First segment already done. They're finding every single kill in the feed, and this is the worst case scenario right now for Boston.
It's kind of almost similar to the way that Tuscan worked a little bit last year, back and forth of the zones. You got one that's easily preferred, the one not so much. I think the B zones maybe not exactly identical in terms of how difficult they can get to capture, but right now Seattle do excellent work to really hit the rotation, make sure that that B zone is captured, and try to work off of it. You basically have both teams on either side of the actual spawns. Sid will be here to try to apply the pressure from the back. Great work from Boston to keep that one alive. Accuracy jumps on the zone. He's got some great teamwork support. Nero's going to try to have to get on inside. He's able to do that. Here comes the collapse. Mac trying to stay up.
Mac's the only guy here, but he gets taken care of. So that's great work from Boston to patiently play that pinch. Vivid was staying alive in towards that kitchen side for a really, really long time. Just wait for his teammates to get back into the play. They retake control of A. Now 14 to 12 in lives remaining. Boston Breach do have the advantage, but that's going to be 2 dead. Memphis has to try to go big. He at least shuts down that player in Mac. That was the most aggressive towards that 8 point, but now with 50 seconds left, Seattle do find 2. The pinch is going to be here.
2 very well-timed kills so far.
Oh, it's
Seattle.
over.
Accuracy trying to make some noise in the back. He eventually drops. That's going to set things up now for Pred. Eager, hungry, fiending with that SMG in hand. Eventually drops, but again, here comes the stack. Awakening has to make the play. Great coordination right now out of Seattle. Somebody from Boston has to hop in, but there's no one in sight. And Seattle, great work and their opening attack. A team that saw quite a bit of success on the attacking end of control last year. Does it again. Round 1 on Hotel belongs to Surge.
Yeah, right there, Boston Breach. I feel like when they were committing to that, the 2 players that pushed towards Aiden and Nero and Vivid, even though they found those 2 kills, if they both dropped, then there was only 1 player pushed out towards bedroom. Seattle were able to get 3 kills in a row, take down every single player. The only focus was Awakening. Once they do that, that B capture was all theirs. And whenever you capture B, it's only a matter of time before you're able to capture A, unless your setup is really strong. They did not have any kitchen control, so Seattle Surge able to take round 1.
So Surge grab our first, maybe a little bit of momentum issued their direction as they'll take our first round. Again, it is a best of 5 in terms of control rounds. We switch back and forth between attack and defense, so choose on the other foot. That was the way that we like to position it. Great work from Mac, by the way. The M4 in top bedroom, not always a favorable fight, but he makes quick work of it. Continuing to be a problem over at this B zone. Really the only problem so far for Boston has been the fact that they just cannot take down Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mac has to be the main focus, and he's making it look easy. Finds himself on a 5 spree. Knows that this player in Vivid attacks towards bottom bedroom, able to take care of him as well. And the entire time, while his teammates are getting slayed out, he stayed alive towards bedroom, basically shut down that push at B by his lonely. Earns himself fully streaked out on a 7th spree. Mac attack, doing it all.
Can he keep it going?
Ooh.
Can he keep it going? No, not gonna happen. Essentially forces Boston to have to go to that A zone. Like they really wanted to go to B. They had their eyes on it. Mac puts his foot down and says, absolutely not. It's not going to happen this time. So great work for him as he'll have some streaks to work with throughout the remainder of this game. On Hotel, maybe not the best, but hey, streaks, you'll take them. We'll put it that way. Awakening, try to hit the nice little flank. Boston 3 strong to the back end. As they're eager to put in a little bit of damage, make Seattle have to work for it. So again, essentially the flipping of spawns. You've got offense on defense side, same thing on the other end. Nero puts in some good work over toward the diner. Breach with those spawns where they are, considering how accuracy's blocking them. They're forced to work together as a pact and go through the Surge base.
Nero does find the opening, so that's going to be 2 dead. Now you know that accuracy is the play that's all the way puts that towards your back flat. Fortunately, Vivid can't win that gunfight, and Mac finds a second. So both the players coming off spawn for Seattle Surge. All they have to do is just fill their gaps, watch the deep flank, watch the middle of the map, because they're consistently always spawning at kitchen. 45 seconds left. Boston Breach have to try to execute a push here. Currently down 6 lives and also down 3 segments. As the pressure is going to come in towards the back, and Vivid actually eliminates accuracy and Mac from bedroom, but now you have to focus on Pred.
The biggest problem is that Fred's still alive. Brought low in terms of HP. Tosses out a
Pretty
nade.
dead though.
Does not end up finding anybody. Austin with a little bit of a lane. Seattle, a little bit of a Sib and accuracy combined for 3. Sib wants another. Not going to have it. And take a look at those close spawns. Take a look at those close spawns right now from Boston. Mac was a feed here earlier, and he's only going to continue to be. Lives running low, and so is the time. Mac ends up having to sacrifice his life, and the time will stop for the moment. Nero, a prayer, hoping to have a few of his teammates come off spawn and join him soon. Here they are.
Here they are, only 5 seconds, 3 lives remaining. Accuracy, the player that watches the cutoff. I don't think any other Boston players are going to be able to touch that point in Seattle Surge. Making it happen on the defensive side. First off, it started off with Mac by the tremendous 3-piece towards Bev. Basically shut down that B push on the side of Boston Breach. And then you saw Vivid. He opens up with that 2-piece towards the middle of the map. It all falls onto Sib. Everyone is all the way across the map spawning at Jules on the side of Seattle Surge. And Sib somehow makes it work with a 2-piece of his own to shut down that push. Seattle Surge just always kept map control, always knew where they needed to be, and always found those kills. Great round to put up 2-0.
Very much so, my friend. Seattle Surge, great work. As they've come alive. However, we were in the same spot yesterday, Jay, where they were up 2-0 on Hotel, trying to right the wrongs from yesterday. As they will start round number 3 on attack. Mac, I don't know what it is. It just feels like he has extra damage when he's in this part of the map. However, Boston are able to reply with a quick 3. Fred, no surprise, decides to go ahead and pull out the M4 for a few of these engagements. And yet, the guy can also do it with the M4. It's not just nasty with the SMG. He can do it with all sorts of weapons as Seattle begin to prioritize that A zone now.
Yeah, Seattle don't have any bedroom controls, so now it's all the time to push in towards this 8 point. Jermaine Bogus is taking down Vivid. Vivid and Nero again. Combined for 2 in the lead. Nero just making it look easy with this M4. Unfortunately, he does get traded by Sib. So now this is where you stop it. This is where you stop your push towards A. You stay with your map control, stay pushed out towards bed, and just wait for Seattle to push out, because it's very difficult. If you die in this situation pushing towards A, they can transition over to B really easy.
Oh, in Awakening, he wanted to try to go for the rush. A few more Boston members actually knocking on the door, and they're going to do pretty well. Nero, yeah, he ends up finding 2 in the situation. Vivid has no idea where to turn. But Nero still alive. The soulmate right now for Boston, holding it down. He's got a reservation. He's hungry. He's ready for a few of these kills. Seattle Surge still on the objective, and they may just have to let this one go. Still fighting to the bitter end of this objective. And really, Jay, it just kind of feels like with the odd angles at times, maybe sacrificing lives that they don't have to. Extra minute added onto the clock. Successful start for Seattle, as Methods has now just earned a streak.
Yeah, Methods just staying alive into his bedroom. Exactly what he needs to do. He's the guy that's influencing the spawns on the side of Seattle Surge for them to consistently spawn at a kitchen. But you have a couple players who are working towards the pinch. Nero does find a big kill, but now you have to locate where Mac is, because Mac can break your setup. But as long as your teammates are winning their gunfights across the map, you do not even have to worry about it. 20-13 in lives remaining. Boston currently in control.
But Seattle may have found their lane. They take down 2 members who were all spawning toward the bedroom. Awakening is going to have the cross. Great work. Pixel perfect. In terms of that opener, Vivid able to apply some damage as well. And here comes the cruise missile. Bit of a panic button pressed quickly from Boston, as Vivid's able to drop 2. Cruise missile comes through, at least gains a bit of information. And now with these spawns, Chef Tony has got to be ready. He's in the right place toward the diner. However, he will reach his bitter end. Awakening now the second line of defense, as job done early. 35 seconds left, but Seattle only 6 lives left.
Yeah, only 6 lives, so this is going to be the last push. What can Mac do on that late pinch? All of his teammates are finding the kills out of bedroom. They're trying to attack this from middle, and Mac also finds that kill on pinch. They're all spawning out towards Mac's spa. Unfortunately, can't win that gunfight onto Nero, but now he allows his teammates to get on that point. Nero with 2. At least they're able to complete this first segment. Done. 3 lives remaining. You have to try to stack.
See if they can do it. Again, just 3 members alive. Pred, Soulman inside of the objective. He and Mac back to back. I mean, hey, who knows? Who knows what can happen? There goes Mac, all down to Pred. A valiant effort considering the numbers that they had. Boston finally able to put one up on the board, but Seattle Surge fought to the bitter end of that one.
Yeah, Seattle Surge, they were fighting. And at least for them, They completed 2 segments on that B point, so now it puts it at 8-3. I mean, they're currently up by 8. They were up 3 going into the first round. They get that full complete at A, so that puts it 6, 2 on B. So they basically guarantee themselves defense just in case it goes to that round number 5. But if I'm Seattle, I'm not changing anything about the game plan. You know exactly what you need to do. Shut down this beast push right off the rip. Make sure you're maintaining bedroom control and forcing Boston Breach to always overextend.
I'm glad you're here, Jay. I don't understand the math at all. I'm very far behind. Bryce, by the way, calls it maths. I don't think he knows how to call it either. Just my own interpretation. Oh my goodness, accuracy. Pred, everybody's getting into the action nice and early. Here to kick off this next round. Round number 4 off to a hefty start. Is Boston Breach going to get back to the game plan? They just want to go ahead and hop on that A objective. Get things done, maybe find a few picks, and then you could start to send a few players forward. A few stragglers, a few scouts, rather, from this Breach team do get found out. Seb tries the challenge, and that basically is going to be the A zone.
Yeah, A is going to be chalked up. Max still has that precision airstrike to work with. But now 2 minutes on the clock for Boston Breach to potentially try to force a round number 5. See how far pushed out in the base. His accuracy all the way towards the back plan is on back plat. He's just consistently forcing Boston to try to overextend, but a huge gunfight going on in the back. He's able to win it versus Nero. He's maintaining map control, forcing all of Boston Breach to attack from the back.
3 out of the 4 members inside of the spawn. Seattle Surge set up and prepared. Pred, these close corridors is always going to cause some problems. That's 3 down. Where's the final member? Okay, happens to be Methods. Still alive. He's having himself a bit of a spa day. Meanwhile, accuracy is cutting down player after player as they try to launch themselves into the restaurant. Some great work early. Boston with a few stragglers that have made their way closer and closer toward that B zone. Boston really just looking for a bit of map control, considering where they have to spawn. There's a lot of places to try to jump through and back. Knows where all the spots are, Jay. Like I said, he has like a 9 KD over here in the bedroom.
Yeah, Max he's enjoying his stay. He's got the suite. He's got the king size bed, comfortable pillows.
Good view as well.
Yeah, my guy is chilling in towards top bedroom. With Boston Breach, they're wasting a lot of time committing on this late flank push, trying to go around the back. But Methods and Vivid, they combine for 3. So now Pred is the last player up in towards bedroom. He does find 1, but his position is known. Now the spawns for Seattle all scattered around the map. You're going to have Mac, the player that's trying to set up this pinch, working through middle of the map.
But is he going to get here in time? Again, as long as Boston stays alive, somebody's going to have to find a pick. Sib, at least, is able to find one onto Nero. The work does pan out there from Mac on the long hit. Here comes in the streak. Seattle are able to survive for now, and that comes at a perfect time as well, Jay. 30 seconds on the clock.
This is the last push. This is basically the last push. And Nero and Vivid, they combine for 2. They know where accuracy is, but unfortunately cannot find the kill. So you have to try to attack this from the front. All of Boston trying to put on that pressure, but Seattle consistently spawning out spa. 10 seconds left. They need to stop that clock. They need to get on this point.
They do indeed. Great work from Mac and accuracy, holding down the headies. A few more begin to fall. Pred putting the nail in the coffin. Not today, says Seattle Surge, as the coach just comes right out from the back, giving the fist bumps. Surge not going to blow a 2-0 lead today, as they will claim control and now have a foothold in this series.
They did exactly what they needed to do on this map. They maintain map control a majority of the tour. So you have to make sure, if you're Seattle, make sure we're early on these rotations. Whoever's going to be starting off on a good side should be able to get a good chunk of time off of this P1. But when you go to the P2, that's going to get scrappy. P3 is when the game really starts to get out of hand if you allow a team to fully set up.
Well, Jay, I mean, what? I feel like all of Seattle Surge, they have their degrees, right? They've all gone to the Abedi Institute of University of Rotation, so they should be pretty good.
That's facts.
When it comes down to that very, very important principle when we talk about some good old hard point. As here we go into Embassy. Boston Breach find themselves up 2-1.
Not a good start.
Seattle, a quick 4 down.
Yeah, Seattle started off on the better side, so they're getting initial time. They watch every single cut, a clean 4 down to start us off. As Pred has already pushed out towards tennis court. That's 17 uncontested seconds off P1. Usually do not see that, but now with 25 seconds left, Boston Breach have to start thinking about that rotation. Nero with a big gunfight onto Sid to potentially open up this backside towards Vans.
And really, if you're Seattle, depending on where these next spawns do come in from, player one's life is going to play a huge factor. So top left, Seattle Surge are going to have to make their way through the back alley. Boston, at least for the moment, doing a great job of trying to get a few of those seconds, as they'll have spawns for new. A few of those spawns actually do end up issuing a few players toward the top right side of the map. Again, on Embassy, it's a little difficult, right? You're trying to figure out where these guys are coming from, a lot of diagonals to try to think about. But right now, it is Boston Breach getting some much needed time here over at parking. And it's weird to see Nero with the M4, but boy, does he make it look good.
And that was a beautiful setup as well from Boston Breach to get themselves back into this game. You had a player pushed up all the way back alley, watching the cutoff through the middle of the map. One player in Nero consistently slaying towards that deep street side, and you were consistently forcing Seattle to all spawn at tennis. But now with about 30 seconds left, Seattle, they find the opening through the middle of the map. They're able to execute the break. This final 25 should be theirs, because now you're going to force Boston Breach off that early rotation. And look at where Accuracy is. He's the guy that's going to be top PD that can potentially spoil their party by just his positioning, and he does exactly that.
They've got the trades. They've also got the close spawns. However, trades are the name of the game, I guess. We've got hanging out over toward the tennis court. Okay, things just get a little bit interesting. Boston's still here. Awakening's now made his way toward the top ACs. Problem being is that Sib, he's hanging out on his belly, having a very good start towards some Embassy. Bottom orange, we head. Vivid's going to be there early, trade after trade after trade, but it's Boston in the more favorable spot for now.
It's a great break from Boston. Take control of top AC, but Mackey finds the opening through orange. He's able to find two, cannot find the third. Now this should allow Accuracy to potentially hit up the ladder, but no, Awakening is able to take him down. So now the final 30 seconds, you see the spawn flip right now for Seattle. They're starting to spawn out bad side for this B4 hard point, so Boston Breach is doing a great job of just maintaining that side, but no one's actually rotating. They're just allowing Accuracy to completely flip the spawns on his own. That is a mistake right there from Boston Breach.
Yeah, a bit of a tunnel vision, Jay. Pred ends up running through. It could be at least the last few seconds for Boston Breach, but it's really just a prayer. It's a Hail Mary toward the end, and now Sib and Accuracy, the ARs, back to back, hanging out because of a little bit of an oversight from Boston Breach. Accuracy position is going to be known. However, he at least takes one to the grave with him. So Boston set up and ready to go here at office, but because of those early plays, it has allowed for Seattle to gain a little bit more map positioning.
Boston are doing a great job of just holding so far. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed. Now they control the spawn towards the backside. All of Seattle had to try to break this through middle. And Methods, he might potentially set up a kill feed here, but unfortunately, great shots from Mac. Able to eliminate him from that position. Boston Breach climbing right back into this game. They're doing a great hold on this P4. I said they needed to do it before the game started, and so far they're answering the call. 25 seconds. Now you're going to force Seattle off that rotation to Kitchen, which is definitely a very difficult hill to break.
Without a doubt, partner. I mean, this is a chaotic map. You've got SMGs going off. You got some crazy spawns. Everything, and the kitchen sink, without a doubt, here on Embassy is being felt as we've got ourselves pretty much a dead even game as we fly over toward P5. Currently, it's Seattle Surge in the much more favorable position to close out our first set of rotations. We'll see if they can grab the lead, but Methods, one of the big voices of this team, Ian Awakening, trying to lead the troops into a bit of a pinch. Not an easy break, as you said, when it comes down to P5, but they've got the right players in the right places.
Here comes Awakening and the rest of Boston Breach. They're able to execute the break. Awakening finds 3, but now it's on Pred. He does find 2, but the trades come in from Narrow. So now Boston Breach currently with control. You see a couple players spawning all the way across the map towards Tennis. So they have to potentially set up this pinch, and they do exactly that, making it 3. Last player up is going to be sent towards the middle of the map. Let's not even peek him, even though he does pick up the nade kill. Boston Breach with a great break to maintain this lead.
Great work so far. Seb is at least able to put one in the dirt, but now both teams preparing back for P1, trying to prepare back for those preferred spawns. And really, Jay, both these teams want to fight for the last few seconds, considering where that more advantageous spawn is going to be. It's really the bottom side of your map, where the focus is going to be highlighted. And currently it is Boston Breach to find themselves in the more favorable spot and a minor advantage currently in the scoreline.
Yeah, if you're Boston, you can take this right now. You're maintaining the map control, like you said. You're not really getting any time, but you're also not allowing Seattle to get any time. You know they have full office control, full top bedroom. Great shots coming in from Mac to take down Awakening. The trade does come in, so now you're going to see Boston Breach start to get some of this time. Methods trying to look towards lower bathroom, pursues that kill as well, finds himself on a 3 spree, and with 25 seconds left, you already see Vivid off the rotation. He's making sure no players are able to sneak on through, but he does not look middle of the map, so now spawns flip. Seattle Surge do exactly what's needed.
Great work so far. By the way, took a look at a very quick little gander at the scorelines. Accuracy, not the greatest of games. We'll see if they can hunker down and do something. 5 and 17 needs to be adjusted a little bit. Boston Breach with the advantage, and now it is time for them to try and break over here at the parking lot. We'll step aside and see how the comms are sounding now with Breach.
Climb on her. Trailer.
He's deep truck.
No truck on hill. No truck on hill.
Deep truck stun. No, truck on hill.
Low gas.
Back truck right now.
Back truck. I'm talking for time. Okay.
Back truck.
Watch the pitch. Press for time. Nice. Press for time.
Deep jump for time.
There's one on mid alley. For time, uneven. I'm diving.
I need heal.
Just for time.
Dead.
Nice. They're gonna pitch me. Yep.
You guys
How much deep?
I'm ready to get down. Try to have time.
I need it.
2s2 challenge real quick.
Watch out. Nice. I'm hitting. Yeah, I'm even. Please back to time. Back to time. Bro.
I'm going to zoom me a new. I'm going top PD right now. I need AC. Top PD right now. They have a trophy. Trophy's on.
Yeah, I'm going orange. Use your nades on.
I don't see him AC.
Orange, bottom orange weak.
Yeah, my AC.
They're hiding outside.
Yeah, nothing I can kill. Orange.
Bottom orange.
Back alley.
Nice. Bottom orange.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm holding one. Yeah, I'm playing left.
I need a trophy.
I have top PD only.
I'm holding it. Yes, I got your bridge.
I'm shouldering too. Or you have it all?
Yes, I got all bridge.
They can be X1. They cannot be top.
Bridge, fuck bridge.
I'm going to see, Joe.
There's at least one. I can't come.
Ladder me.
I got her done. Nice. There's one point.
Stay downstairs.
I got trust. Orange dead. I got orange trust.
Nice, good play, Joe.
Dead. Nice.
I'm mech.
I give it.
I tell you what, those Boston Breach boys are firing on something special. A break over at the ACs. Everybody is starting to slay out. And Jay, I'm hearing all kinds of let's go, like took them down, like all kinds of hype moments right now coming in from the Breach camp. These guys are on one.
That was such a beautiful break indeed. Methods with the top PD control. He's the guy that gets the first blood. He's shooting trophies down. He eventually allows Vivid to strike onto that point and get a 4-piece to break that setup for Seattle. Now this game is starting to get out of hand. Boston Breach get a great amount of time on AC. They're fully set up for this PD hard point. All they have to do is hold their angles, hold your irons down, find your kills, and that's exactly what they're trying to do as Nero finds at least a trade, finds 2 in the feed, but Seattle Surge, they get the break.
Seattle Surge get the break. Nero's still alive. Trying to put in some decent damage. Seattle toward the outside. Pred at least able to find the pick. He's got that Vaznev out, and he wants to put it to good use for 3. End up falling, and now Pred pretty much waving the white flag, knowing how difficult it is to break inside of this hard point. Not a lot of work that can be done. Awakening is handling business. 23 and 12 before he hits the pavement. And right now, Boston Breach are streaking into the advantage of this game, 225 to 146. And Jay, they are already at that rotation. We'll see if they can make the early break. Seattle Surge, they've got to do something.
Unbelievable. How does he make this play? Vivid from the back alley finds a 3-piece to break the setup from Seattle Surge. They execute the break on Kitchen. 20 seconds away from them closing out this map. Seattle Surge is just playing so damn sloppy. This is very, very sloppy hardcore. We did not see them play like this yesterday, and they are getting pounded right now by Boston. This is not looking good. Nero finds another kill, 10 seconds away from the series being theirs.
Boston Breach, just a few more seconds. The nade comes in. Awakening there for the trade. Nades aplenty. Someone tossed out a trophy, for God's sake. The hill open only for a moment. Seattle Surge continue to rush in the forces as rapidly and as fast as they can. Boston could try to make a late hit for these final few seconds. Here they come. This could be the moment. A few players starting to stack on up. Seattle will hold. Back to P1 we go.
Back to P1, and this is where we say Seattle Surge have to play perfect hard point from here on out. It's not easy to do on a map like Embassy where you can barely get any time off of this P1. They're doing a great job trying to soak up as much time as possible. Methods is trying to set up this pinch. Least finds one, gets an extra second closer and closer towards that finish line. Seattle Surge not allowing Boston Breach to get any time off of this P1, but It's starting to get scary. You can also pay attention to that game clock. 2 minutes and counting. As trades go back and forth, Boston Breach is trying to find an opening.
Well, this should be theirs. This should be theirs. Methods is able to find two. It's a 1v1 for the point. Civ able to keep it alive for the time. Has to win this engagement. Mac is here. Trade after trade. Then Awakening just put him away, and he has. Boston Breach, a perfect start to their MW2 season. A win versus Atlanta FaZe yesterday, and a win